Hi everyone, let's continue our discussion further. This is lecture number 23 and now we'll discuss on biogeochemical cycle, which you also call as the nutrient cycle, and the details of which, which part does it belong to, what are the subsections, like the functions of an ecosystem, etc. वो हम पहले के लेक्चर्स में ऑलरेडी कर चुके हैं. सो इफ़ यू आर वॉचिंग इट सिंस द बिगनिंग दैट्स गुड. इन केस you are not and randomly come across this video, do check all the earlier videos on the channel, because it is these videos in a sequence, not only for environment but also for geography, modern Indian history, Indian polity. The 4 lectures that I'm running simultaneously will help you understand the topics right from the beginning till the advanced level, along with the PYQs attached of both prelims and mains respectively. Also, if you feel that the videos are of help to you, please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Okay, now in this section, as I have told, we will first see the discussion on biogeochemical cycle. Now we know about energy flow being one of the functions of the ecosystem, and the another function we have talked is the nutrient circulation. Now both of these, flowing of energy and circulating the nutrients, they both are very important part of the ecosystem, and they both occur through the ecosystem, influencing the abundance of organisms. Many organisms are influenced by this. Now not only organisms are influenced, but the metabolic rate also is influenced, at which they are living. The complexity of the ecosystem is also influenced. So these two are actually very important parameters. So energy flow तो हम कर ही चुके हैं, different trophic levels, pyramids, etc. Now energy is also lost as heat, ये हमने देखा, and it just forever happens, like the loss continuously happens, and then finally there will come a time when the energy is completely lost in terms of usefulness of the system, because in the whole ecosystem the energy is used at different levels, and at one point it will just be exhausted, it will just be ended or lost. But nutrients of the food matter, they never get used up. जो न्यूट्रिएंट्स होते हैं खाने में वो रिसाइकिल होते हैं, दे आर नॉट यूज्ड अप कम्प्लीटली. एनर्जी इज एग्जॉस्टेड एट सम पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. However, you will say that how does it happen? Because this happens from the point of view that it is used in the system, it is there for usefulness of the system, so it is lost in the form of heat. ठीक है, हम बस उस सेंस में बात कर रहे हैं, not about creating or destroying, do not go into that confusion. But when we talk about the nutrients, they are just recycled again and again, and that too indefinitely. So that is what is the nutrient cycling. So let's say the elements or the mineral nutrients that you talk about, they are just always in circulation. They move from non-living to the living and then back to the non-living component. So that cycle continues, and that more or less happens in a very circular manner. That is what we call as biogeochemical cycling. You can also talk about certain elements or compounds like carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus, etc. Now these important prominent ones constitute 97% of mass of our bodies, and they also include more than 95% of the mass of all living organisms. 15 to 20% other elements are needed apart from them in some form or the other for the survival and the good health of the plants and animals. So we have some other elements also, but majorly we have these prominent elements, compounds, if you say so. Now, the other name for which you can also take as nutrient cycling, so it means that how the nutrients are getting cycled, or in other words, how they move away from the physical environment to the living organisms, and then subsequently recycled back to their physical environment. So from the physical environment to the living organism, and like this. So that continues. Now each nutrient has its own particular pattern of cycling. ये हमें समझना होगा. अब मोस्ट इम्पॉर्टेंट न्यूट्रिएंट्स में तो ठीक है, आप कार्बन नाइट्रोजन पढ़ोगे, लेकिन देयर विल बी अदर also other nutrient cyclings or cycles also that you will be considering here, and you will have to remember that their own pattern would be very different from the other ones because of the nature of the nutrients. Now if we categorize the nutrient cycling or the biogeochemical cycling, so based on the replacement period of the nutrient cycle, replacement period मतलब वो कब तक replenish हो पा रहा है, ठीक है. So we will have two major categories, one perfect cycle, another imperfect cycle. Perfect का क्या मतलब है कि बहुत आसानी से हो गया, right? It is easily done. For example, here the nutrient is replaced as fast as it is utilized. जैसे ही utilize हुआ वो आराम से रिप्लेस हो गया बहुत ईजिली. सो मोस्ट ऑफ द गेशियस साइकिल्स विल बी इन दिस फॉर्म. इन दिस imperfect मतलब कुछ तो कमी रह रही है. So some nutrients are lost from the cycle and get locked into the sediments and they are unavailable for immediate cycling. Now this is also important. यहाँ तो ये completely utilize हो जा रहा है as fast replace हो जा रहा है as fast as it is replaced. But here while it is getting into the zone of cycling, some of the nutrients is lost into that process of cycle and they just get locked into the sediments. So उसको replenish होने में it takes time and therefore they are not available for immediate cycling. Examples of imperfect cycle would include your sedimentary cycles. Now based on the nature of reservoir, if we have two major categories, like one is on the basis of replacement period, another is on the basis of nature of reservoir, gaseous and sedimentary. Gaseous cycle, हियर द रिजर्वायर इज़ द एटमॉस्फेयर, मतलब जो गैसेज होते हैं तो एटमॉस्फेयर या हाइड्रोस्फेयर वहाँ मिलेंगे आपको. सेडिमेंट्री में द रिजर्वायर्स इज़ द अर्थ्स क्रस्ट, देयरफॉर द वर्ड सेडिमेंट्री इज़ यूज्ड. व्हाट आर सम ऑफ द एग्जांपल्स ऑफ द गेशियस साइकिल्स, तो हम उसमें कवर करेंगे वाटर साइकिल, कार्बन साइकिल, नाइट्रोजन साइकिल, जो हम नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में करेंगे. सेडिमेंट्री साइकिल में वी विल टॉक इन दिस लेक्चर ऑन द फॉस्फोरस साइकिल एंड द सल्फर साइकिल. Let's see both of these in details, but before that just a quick diagram of the nutrient cycling as given in your book. So you can see that it follows a cycle or a circular pattern. For example, if you let's say talk about the producers getting the energy from the sun, the producers may be either of algae, lichens, green plants, anybody. Now they are eaten by the consumers, which will be the animals. When they die, the decomposers act on them, decomposes them into smaller particles, so like fungi and bacteria. Then by the process of decomposition they are just mixed into the soil and it results in the formation of humus and minerals. ठीक है, because it is humus is the organic matter only. Then यहाँ से water and mineral salts निकलता है because of this and again reaches the producer, which is important for them, ठीक है, to continue this process. The other thing can happen directly that the plants are dying, decomposers are decomposing them, and then the sales cycle continues. So either it happens like this or it happens like this. In either way there is cycling of the nutrients. ठीक है, चलिए, now we have to see on the sedimentary cycle. So here what is the main characteristic of the sedimentary cycle? One, that the reservoir is the earth's crust that we have seen, and another important thing to remember that here the elements normally does not cycle through the atmosphere, which happens in the case of gaseous cycle, but they follow a basic pattern of flow through erosion, because these are the processes that happens on the earth's crust, like erosion, ठीक है, बह जाना, sedimentation, mountain building, volcanic activity, biological transport, etc. So through the excreta of the marine birds, ठीक है, all of these things happen. So these are the methods or these are the means by which the process takes place here. It is not through your normal atmospheric process, which is the case in the gaseous cycle. So first case that we will see is of your phosphorus cycle. Now why is this cycle very important, or why do we need to study more on the phosphorus? Because firstly this cycle plays a very prominent role in the aquatic ecosystem and also talking about water quality. तो ये सब prelims के pointers हो सकते हैं, इसीलिए just remember. Also this cycle occurs in large amount as a mineral in phosphorus. It occurs in large amount as a mineral in the phosphate रॉक्स, ठीक है. तो सेडिमेंट्री है, अर्थ्स क्रस्ट की बात हो रही है, इसलिए रॉक्स में मिल रहा है, नथिंग टू बी वेरी सरप्राइज्ड अबाउट इट. तो एक एज अ मिनरल बहुत बड़े अमाउंट में फॉस्फेट रॉक में आपको फॉस्फोरस मिलता है. एंड हाउ डज इट एंटर द साइक्लिक प्रोसेस? इट एंटर्स फ्रॉम इरोजन, जब वो बह जा रहा होता है, एंड द माइनिंग एक्टिविटीज़, because it does not come from atmosphere like carbon or nitrogen. No, it comes from your rocks, ठीक है. And through the process of erosion and mining activity it enters the cycle. Now it has entered the cycle. अच्छा, phosphorus की अगर हम बात करें, so phosphorus is also considered as the main cause of the excessive growth of rooted and free floating microscopic plants in the lakes. जो lakes में जो water, क्योंकि we have seen ना, it is talking important for the aquatic ecosystem. So in the lakes whatever microscopic plants you have, the free floating plants and the rooted plants also, for their excessive growth phosphorus is important, ठीक है. Now you know that it is stored mainly in the earth's crust, हमें rock से भी मिलता है, so earth's crust में it is stored. and if you find it on the land, you get it in the form of phosphates. When it enters the rivers and the stream, water body में, so how does it happen? By the process of weathering and erosion. You might not be very comfortable with these terms, but these terms are to be dealt in the geography lectures. That is why I have told that, you know, many of the chapters are interlinked with each other. So if you are not following this, you will have to study it on your own, because in the environment chapter, of course, I cannot talk about here. But when we do the landforms chapter in geography, which is going to happen in a couple of next days, because we are almost done with all the theories related to geomorphology, तो अब अगला chapter landforms और ये सब पर ही आएगा हमारा, and in that I am going to discuss all of these things in greater detail. ठीक है, so either you study it from your own side or you watch the lectures, either way whatever suits you. Now बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ वेदरिंग एंड इरोजन, कि रॉक्स जो हैं वो टूट जा रहे हैं और फिर इरोड होके बह के वो रिवर्स और स्ट्रीम्स में उनके टुकड़े जो हैं वो एंटर कर जा रहे हैं, एंड फ्रॉम द स्मॉलर यू नो दीज वाटर बॉडीज लाइक रिवर्स एंड स्ट्रीम्स इट एंटर्स और इट इज़ ट्रांसपोर्टेड टू द ओशंस. तो लैंड से रिवर और स्ट्रीम में एंटर करके ओशंस पे पहुंच जाना. ठीक है, अब ओशन में पहुंचने के बाद देन इट अक्यूमुलेट्स on the continental shelf. आपको पता है continental, अच्छा this is again geography part, so in geography I have taught about it. So वहाँ पर ये accumulate हो जाते हैं in the form of insoluble deposits, क्योंकि वहाँ soluble नहीं हो पाते या घुल नहीं पाते. अब उसके बाद क्या होता है? after the accumulation the phosphates are exposed on the land when after millions of years the crustal plates rise from the sea floor. अब वहाँ पहुँच जाते हैं and they are insoluble deposits, which means it will remain in the ocean or let's say on the sea floor. वो जा जाके accumulate होकर जमा हो जाएंगे, है ना. They have entered the ocean, but now because they are not soluble in the water, so they will just get accumulated on the sea floor, and after millions of years when this, because sea floor spreading, अभी हमने theory just geography में भी parallelly यही चल रहा था. ठीक है, so when this will rise and the inner material will come above, then what will happen? The crustal plate will also move after millions and millions of years. So again those phosphates which are now on the sea floor, they will rise onto the land. ठीक है, अब लैंड पे पहुँचेंगे, फिर क्या हो जाएगा? बाय द प्रोसेस ऑफ वेदरिंग एंड इरोजन, तो यू नो दे विल बी रिलीजिंग देम फ्रॉम द रॉक एंड द साइकिल विल अगेन बिगिन. देन यू नो फ्रॉम लैंड टू वाटर एंड ओशन एंड accumulation and again exposing to the land etc. The same cycle will continue. This is what happens in the case of phosphorus cycle, and therefore the role of the sea floor and the oceans is very important, and we say that it has an immense role to play in the aquatic ecosystem and the water quality. Moving on to no more on the sulfur cycle, sorry. So this is also one example of your sedimentary cycle. Now here what is the reservoir? The reservoir, or like where it is stored, it is soil and the sediments, the particles. ठीक है, particles of rocks, dusts etc., grains, sand, all of that is sediment. So here they are locked in organic and inorganic deposits. Organic में like you know coal, oil, peat etc. तो organic, inorganic दोनों तरह के deposits होते हैं in the form of different you know like forms like sulfates, sulfides, organic sulfur etc. आपने बचपन में बेसिक केमिस्ट्री में से पढ़ा होगा. ये तो रिजर्वॉयर है, like where they are stored or found, but then how they are released into the environment. So they are released by the weathering of rocks. Again rocks के टूटना, particles टूटना, erosional runoff, फिर बह जाना, and decomposition of the organic matter. Now when they are released into the environment, they will be carried also, transportation होगा इधर से उधर. So they are carried to the terrestrial and aquatic ecosystem in the salt solution. Salt के साथ मिलके ये carry on होते जाते हैं. अच्छा, this kind of cycle or the sulfur cycle is actually mostly sedimentary, because soil and sediments में mostly मिलता है. However, there is one exception to it. So one form is what you will have to remember, which is on hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide. So these two forms, when the sulfur exists in you know the combination, and it is like hydrogen sulfide या sulfur dioxide के form में अगर exist कर रहा होता है, then that cycle is known as gaseous cycle, but otherwise it is mostly sedimentary. So this point also you can remember for prelims. Now what are the sources from where the sulfur enters the atmosphere? Because it directly does not come from atmosphere like carbon or nitrogen. We have seen the reservoir and we have seen how it is released. एटमॉस्फेयर में कहाँ से एंटर करता है? वोल्केनिक इरप्शन हो गया, कंबस्शन ऑफ फॉसिल फ्यूल्स, ओशन सरफेस हो गया, एंड फ्रॉम द गैसेज रिलीज्ड बाय डीकम्पोजिशन. देन एटमॉस्फेयर में क्या होता है? जो एटमॉस्फेरिक H2S होता है, क्योंकि ये तो हमने देखा कि गैशियस फॉर्म में है, उसका ऑक्सीडेशन हो जाता है इनटू सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड में. अब यहाँ पे जो एटमॉस्फेरिक सल्फर डाइऑक्साइड है, इट इज़ कैरीड बैक टू द अर्थ after it is dissolved in the rain water. क्यों? और जब ये वापस आता है, जैसे आपने वो एसिड रेन के बारे में पढ़ा होगा, वी विल डू मोर इट इन दी चैप्टर ऑन पोल्यूशन ऑल्सो. तो सल्फ्यूरिक एसिड, ठीक है, उस फॉर्म में जो है वो वीक फॉर्म में रेन वाटर में मिल जाता है और अर्थ पे वापस पहुंच जाता है व्हेन द एटमॉस्फेरिक SO2 इज कैरीड बैक टू अर्थ. अच्छा, if sulfur is present in the form of sulfates, because we have seen that sulfur exists in different formats, so therefore we are doing it for different forms. When it exists in the form of sulfates, then it is taken up by the plants and incorporated into the whole series of this cycle via different processes. We are not going into the technicalities of it because that's not our business. हमें उसको GS के पर्सपेक्टिव से ही समझना है. बट प्लांट्स उसको लेते हैं और फिर वो पूरी सीरीज और साइकिल में इन्वॉल्व हो जाता है एंड देन पासेस थ्रू द ग्रेजिंग फूड चेन. यू नो अबाउट द ग्रेजिंग फूड चेन. हमने स्टार्टिंग में वी हैव टॉक्ड अबाउट ग्रेजिंग एंड डेट्रीटस फूड चेन. सो यू कैन जस्ट चेक दी अर्लियर चैप्टर्स जहाँ हमने इसकी बात की थी. ठीक है. Then what happens? The sulfur which is bound in the living organisms, how it is carried back to the soil? It is carried back to the soil, to the bottom of ponds and also lakes, bottom of seas, etc. through the process of excretion and decomposition of the dead organic material. So the whole cycle again gets continued. So this was all about the two important sedimentary cycles that we had to do, phosphorus and sulfur. In the next video, we'll talk about the gaseous cycles precisely on the water, carbon and the nitrogen one. I hope the video was helpful to you. Please do like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you so much. Take care till then. Bye bye.